If you recall, in November 2022, voters headed to the polls to vote for the amendment that was promoted by the labor industry, essentially codifying certain collective bargaining rights in the Illinois state constitution. And it was unclear if the amendment passed or not. It took a couple of weeks for that to all come together, but indeed it did pass. So Illinois' constitution has been amended to allow for stronger protections when it comes to collective bargaining. But those who promoted that particular amendment, there's questions as to whether or not they're recognizing labor. And in particular, at the Illinois Statehouse, House Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch's office not providing a comment to the Chicago Tribune about a new association, the Illinois Legislative Staff Association. Welcome back, Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And let's check out this headline from the Chicago Tribune. It talks about how Illinois House Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch's staffers say he's rebuffed their efforts to unionize. And as you read through this article from the Tribune, it says more than 20 staffers in Illinois House Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch's office renewed calls Friday, 3 days before the Labor Day holiday, to recognize them as a union. The Illinois Legislative Staff Association, they are looking for higher wages and better benefits, and they were essentially announced earlier this year. But Welch, a Democrat, who became House Speaker in 2021, has not been willing to discuss the issue, according to the Tribune, with the group despite requests that it's made over the last 9 months. So Welch, again, he helped usher in the passage of the Workers' Rights Amendment, codifying in the state constitution collective bargaining rights. And the association said of a statement that Welch had entered not long ago, said, despite his outspoken pro-labor rhetoric and vocal support for the right of all employees in Illinois to unionize, he says that Illinois, he is apparently intent on denying the rights of his own staff. It should not be controversial in 2023 for a group of workers in a blue state with a strong union tradition to form a union, especially when the right to organize is enshrined in the state constitution. So you've got the legislative staff before this new union was announced. They're not affiliated with any union, as a lot of other state employees may be. But they're looking for more pay. They're looking for more benefits, better pay, better benefits. And they say that their good faith efforts to engage with the speaker and his aides have been either rebuffed, redirected, or met with stubborn disregard. When we have been acknowledged at all, we've experienced runaround, muddied waters, and other thinly veiled tactics aimed at undercutting our ability to organize and bargain collectively. The speaker, through his aides, has made it abundantly clear that he intends to delay indefinitely in hopes that he will give up or just go away. And the union says that they will not turn around and give up. So interesting to see that. And obviously, you talk a lot about different types of policies that get enacted and how, for instance, we talked earlier, it's alleged that the Chicago Teachers Union president sends their child to a private school, which you got to think if the Chicago Teachers Union, which is the union for Chicago Public Schools teachers, is sending their kid to a private school, allegedly, that's going to cause some problems. So I guess, in a way, some hypocrisy being highlighted. But it wasn't the only labor issue that was highlighted over the weekend, especially with Labor Day on Monday. You also have the United Auto Workers Union looking at a September 14th end to their contract with the big three automakers in the United States. So you've got a good 146,000 UAW members all up against this idea of a possible strike. And you've got the union essentially pushing forward with a strike, voting overwhelmingly to authorize it if one is indeed going to happen. So what's going on? You've got the latest being that last week you had the union file charges of unfair labor practices against Stellantis and General Motors. But all three automakers have countered the union's charges as baseless. as they seek what they call a fair deal. But a 46% raise, 32-hour work week with 40 hours pay, and the restoration of traditional pensions. That's some of the demands that the United Auto Workers Union is pushing for. But you got to look at a state like Illinois that has serious pension problems. And a lot of the private sector got out of pensions because of the unsustainable problems that pensions create. And instead moving from, defined benefits to deferred investment, where you invest, and over time, and then you get those, deferred benefits instead of defined benefits. So a lot of labor issues just in the past, 3 or 4 days, especially with Labor Day on Monday, and a lot of people celebrating Labor Day, but obviously there's a continued contention from the Illinois Statehouse to the United Auto Workers Union and beyond. All right, it is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. I'm Greg Bishop. Thanks for hanging out with me each and every weekday morning. And if you want to follow me off air, it's real simple. Just search Bishop on Air. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Connect with me that way. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Email me anytime. bishoponair@gmail.com. bishoponair@gmail.com. Or you can call in live and local at 217-629-7970. That's the phone number, so get your calls heard live. All right, got to take a break, 7:49. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast.